Leo, December 2019 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com. Leo, what are my good news for you? Jupiter is changing signs. Jupiter changes signs once a year, and Jupiter is the great benefic. Wherever it goes, it tends to improve the conditions of that area of your life, almost like God says, okay, you've suffered enough, and now I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you rewards there. And why have you suffered enough? Because Saturn has been in your sixth house for the past 2 years, and wherever Saturn goes, it tests us. So a lot of Leos, especially Leo rising people, I always tell you, check your rising sign, your ascendant sign. If you know your exact time of birth, it tends to be the most precise prediction for you. After that, maybe if you have time, check the sun and the moon sign. Actually, even the moon sign is more important than the sun sign oftentimes, you know. But for the past 2 years, Saturn has been in your sixth house of health. So some of you, it can indicate that they've been having some chronic health issues, or they've been stuck with some health problem that they've been really trying to eliminate or work hard on. But Saturn tends to delay those things and requires you to try over and over and use so much willpower, and you don't immediately see the results. And sixth house is addictions or self-medication or any, that's why addiction is considered a disease, because the sixth house rules both in ancient astrology. So if you're stuck in, and if you've been stuck, or if you've been really struggling, even if you stopped some addiction or some health problem, but you're barely keeping it, it requires you a lot of efforts to keep it in control. Well, now when Jupiter enters your sixth house as well, starting from December, from the beginning of December, but it's going to take probably 12 months till the end, you're going to see that from December onwards, you're receiving so much support and help with that. It's almost like it stops being such a difficulty to maintain your health. It's, or if you've been because Saturn in the sixth can also indicate that you have taken your health very seriously in the last 2 years. Maybe you started working out or restricting diet or taking some preventative measures. Well, now when Jupiter enters the sixth house, you're going to see the results of that. Maybe you're finally going to start feeling healthy. Maybe you're finally going to feel like, oh, this is automated now. It doesn't require so much of your willpower. It starts becoming enjoyable, starts giving you a sense of empowerment, those new health routines that you've introduced, rather than feeling like, oh, such a sacrifice. Or it can also indicate that you get an answer to a health problem that you've been struggling with. Jupiter is knowledge, is light where there is darkness. Saturn is something chronic that drags on. So if you've been having some chronic issue or problem that you've really been probably thinking very hard about trying to eliminate or take control of in the past 1-2 years, but might have been hard, might have been very difficult to do so and not seeing quite quick results. Now when Jupiter enters, you're going to receive the answer. You're going, maybe not immediately in December, but maybe while Jupiter is in Capricorn 2020, you're going to you find the right doctor, the right solution, the right method or workout or diet or exercise for you, and you're going to thrive on it. You're going to enjoy it. Not only that, but you're going to notice that you're really starting to enjoy and you're finding a lot of meaning and purpose in cleaning, organizing, ordering. Well, Saturn's been in your sixth house already, trying to teach for the last 2 years to be more clean and organized. I don't know about you, but I've never been clean and organized. And since I'm a Leo moon, since Saturn entered in Capricorn, I became so anal about order, but it's annoying me. When I see something dirty, I want to cry, I get upset. So I feel like I become like a cleaner constantly. With 2 babies, there is no other way. But I've never before noticed dirt. Now I notice it everywhere. It pisses me off, it upsets me, and now maybe with Jupiter entering your sixth house, you're going to start enjoying it too. You're going to really expand your efficiency techniques and organizational techniques, so that you're going to start enjoying them, almost receiving some kind of a erotic pleasure out of systemizing and organizing. But no, like really pride and joy. But also it is connected to Jupiter entering the sixth house to starting to receive some help if you've been too burdened with responsibilities and duties, with cleaning, not only with cleaning, with work, errands. The sixth house is errands. When Saturn goes there for the last 2 years, it increases the workload, whether you work at home or whether you work in an office, maybe without rewards. It increases the workload and you become like a workhorse, work donkey. And that can make you feel, and if you love your job, it's okay, there is a meaning of it, but honestly, it might have felt like drudgery, day after day, doing the same thing. It requires a lot of repetitive work done over and over again when Saturn is in the sixth house. Maybe there was some blockages with work or delays, or with the ability to enjoy the work you're doing. Maybe the environment you were in became more hostile, or more, Saturn is cold and wet, cold and dry, a bit wintry, you know. Maybe the environment, and my work environment has been a nightmare. It's been, I can't tell you. I'm so glad I have the green screen, so you don't see my work environment there. So it's like you'd feel sorry for me. And now Jupiter entering the sixth house of work and work environment will definitely improve that. You might be able to get a studio if you need one. You might be able to get a better office. You might be able to, if there were some hostilities at your workplace, this will start improving gradually. Maybe you won't see it immediately in December, but gradually from 2020, you're going to start seeing, when Jupiter there, that maybe your colleagues are becoming nicer. Maybe the work environment is not so wintry because you're getting some help with all the responsibilities and duties. Maybe some of the burdens of your work will be taken off your shoulders and shared with others. So some help coming to you somehow, you know. Jupiter also as Leos, what does it rule for us? Pisces. Sorry. Your, sorry, 1, 2, 3. I'm seeing this chart the other way around. Yeah. So sorry, I got distracted there. But you can notice that also, yes, improvement with your work conditions, you're starting to enjoy the work more, but expansion of work, there is like more work coming to you. But if you've been stuck with project you didn't enjoy, which might be sometimes Saturn, we have to do something because we have to do it, because we're committed to it, because it's a responsibility. Maybe you got really good results when Saturn was in the sixth house through your work. Yes, because Saturn is meticulous, it works consistently all the time, you know, makes you work like that. But maybe they were slow coming and maybe you didn't enjoy them so much. Jupiter enters this sixth house and turns those things around, not but uplifts you, and things with work start getting better. Maybe you'll find a better job if you've been blocked to finding the right job. Now Jupiter will bring in 2020 an opportunity to start a better job, one that you enjoy more, because there is an ancient rule when both Jupiter and Saturn are in the same sign, which it will be starting from December. This sign manifests, and the sign gives its most powerful results. So for you, it's going to be connected to health, but now it's becoming easier with order organization, with working environment, with work projects. You are still going to have a lot of work. I mean, if you haven't had work, if Saturn blocked that, sometimes it can block instead of increase responsibilities. You know, it's, if you haven't had now, a work opportunity will come to you, especially if your rising is in Leo. But there is a lot of more other, sixth house is also death and enemies. If there is some conflict with an enemy, someone who is not a well-wisher for you, you know, sixth house, Saturn. Someone who's been directly in your face trying to undermine your work or repress it in some way. Or if you've been stuck in some litigation, because sixth house is the house of court cases. Funny enough, according to ancient astrology, when you're fighting with someone is the sixth house. So if you've been, you know, accusations, or even if it's not a court case, if someone's been accusing you, you're accusing, all of those things, which can, Saturn can make it very stuck, like it's not moving away, it's not having any change. Well, Jupiter enters there, and there will be very likely a much positive conclusion to such accusatory situation, a relief of such accusations, ability to kind of move forward with such issues, you know, and kind of resolving. But any kind of situations that out of balance in your life that might have been stagnant, you know, whether it's a health issue, whether it's an issue of poverty, whether it's an issue of disbalance, mental, psychological, emotional, an issue of animosity, or an issue of accusation of some sort, some problem that can be resolved. When Jupiter enters the sixth house, it starts getting resolved. But a lot more, I speak a lot more about this position and how you can benefit in my Leo 2020 video, which is $9.99, and it's almost 2 hours long. And we've had 10,000 of those sold without any refund so far, thanks God. So it means people love them, and people have been writing to me hundreds of emails daily saying, wow, it's amazing. You can also check your 2019 videos, they're out for free. I've released them, so you can see how the previous year has gone for you. But let's continue with December, more specific about December. This was almost like for the whole 2020 ahead. I'm going to bring the calendar for December 2019, and that's the old calendar, but now the new calendars for 2020 is out, 180 pages, interactive electronic calendar. If you click here, say, you can see exactly what it means. It will take you there with all the visible, invisible planets. You won't find this online anywhere else, with all the planets, the aspects, the new moons, full moons, eclipses, ingresses, whatever, retrogrades, directs, with the explanation personally written by me. And it's 30% off for another 2 weeks. Okay, let's see what's more happening in December for you. Leo, we talked about Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter becomes invisible and Saturn becomes invisible in your 6th house first. So all that we talked about the 6th house first, something might end though with the 6th house. So when a planet becomes invisible, you either get results of efforts you've been doing before. So if you've been working on some work project, it might be finishing now, and you get the reward. So you see the results of that project, but it's ending. Some work project or some duty, some work duty or responsibility might be ending now. In worst case scenario, it might be the ending of a job, you know, and the ending of some employment, or you firing some employee, or the ending of you know, of some karmic commitment that you have to someone, you know, someone that you've been helping. The 6th house is people in need that you're helping as well, or employees that work for you, or a pet. For sometimes, I hope it's not you, but they can be the ending of a pet, or okay, I'm not going to talk about the scary stuff. Let's focus on the good thing. But whatever is ending from this 6th house, and it might be also the ending of a karmic health problem, that's ending of a chronic health problem. That can be one thing, is disappearing, you know, health issue. But the negative is like either a job can end or whatever. But, you know, don't worry, because there is the eclipse after that, the new moon, which means new beginning in your 6th house. The 6th house is on fire. Everything's happening there. So new opportunities after the 26th will appear, because it's with Jupiter, new opportunities. First, you might have to make a sacrifice, something ending. Yeah, but new opportunities appear for you in your career onwards after that, in your work with employees, or maybe you fire someone that's not doing a good job and hire someone that's doing better after that. Maybe you have some commitment to someone in need that's been dragging down, it might end. And there might be new opportunity for new health system that you start, for new health, for new work, for new job, for new health inspirational workout routine, and all of those after 26. But first, it might be because of the disappearance of the planet, some crisis that first happens there, to seed the beginnings, to make space for the new beginnings that are coming after the 26th. Then we're having on the 9th Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius for you is your 5th house. So Mercury is what you think about, what you're busy with mentally, what you talk about. And your 5th house is fun. So Mercury from the 9th of December, almost to the end of the month, I think I can see there, yes, towards the end, is in your 5th house. So it's not only work, guys, the 6th house, or enemies and fixing things, and, you know, fixing things that don't work, and efficiency in order organization, that, you know, all the things. It's like, we're Leos, we're there to shine, not to be the servant, not to work, not to be efficient and organized, but that's what the universe wants for you as a priority most of 2020 still. But Mercury, for a few days, 2-3 weeks, in our 5th house, is saying, okay, you can have fun as well now. So you can go and have a lot of interaction socially that are enjoyable, the 5th house. You can go and do a lot of fun activities and hobbies. It's great for Christmas, you know, parties and social do's where you have enjoyable communications, where you can go and theater, music, cinema, all of those things, whichever one you enjoy. that you can have some focus also on your children, more important communications that happen with your children, more activities. You can, what is that as well? Creative project. Your mind can be very creative still. Mercury is communication. You can talk a lot about creative business projects or whatever, new ideas as well that you can communicate and discuss. And romantically, of course, fifth house. You can have a bit more, maybe not feel hornier, but think about romantic topics more. Talk about, maybe go on a date. You can actually meet a date when Mercury is in the fifth house via internet. Mercury is online or friends. Fifth house is dating. So that can be a possibility for some of you. If you're single, if you're married, it can indicate that maybe you're planning something fun to do with your partner. Maybe you put more of your mind and trying to find time and planning more romantic activities as well. Talk about romance, talk about love and such things. Or that you talk more with your children, whichever. And then we're gonna have Venus in Aquarius on the 20th. Something else as well. Jupiter is trine Uranus almost the whole of January, almost the whole of December. It's a slow transit, so quite a few might feel it. Jupiter is in your 6th house. Uranus is in your 10th house. So something very positive can happen in regards to career, like an opportunity. Suddenly you can, for example, Uranus is innovation. So maybe an opportunity for a new career or an idea for a new career. 6th house Jupiter is knowledge and wisdom in regards to your work. Something good can happen with your career around the 15th. If you have something important to do with career, do it then. You're supported with material matters of material importance, money, career, social status, responsibilities, and work. And so around that time, it is good, something important, something, they can be like innovation, technological innovation, or being able to make accessible your work to larger groups of people, to be more recognized in reputation, for example, or help coming to you with some work project or with some material, social, economic type of situation. And Venus is entering in Aquarius. And for you, Leos, from the 20th, Aquarius is your 7th house of relationship. So the last 10 days of January and the first 15 days, the last 10 days of December, and the first 15 days of January, Venus will be in your 7th house. Wherever Venus goes, we experience more pleasant, easy, enjoyable moments there. If there's been some problems in your relationships, they start improving. Those problems start disappearing. Your partner starts becoming more loving. You start becoming more loving to a partner. For some of you, even you can meet someone. And again, Mercury is in the sign of in the house of dating. Remember, in the 5th, and having fun. So first you become more wittier, and when Mercury is there, when the 5th house is to shine, to impress others. Mercury with your communication, so you can notice that you're becoming more center of communication, more witty, more fun, more sense of humor, and shiny, or in social environments that you want to be more in kind of in the public eye. And Venus enters your 7th house of relationships, and then this charm can translate into a relationship, into meeting someone. Or it can just mean that you're surrounded by more pleasant people, Venus, by more attractive women, or by more attractive men. It's just anyone that's attractive or pleasant or more kind, or that you experience more enjoyable time on one-to-one with another. So you will have time for the romance as well. You will have time for the relationships as well. Again, as I said, it's not all work, work, work. So things are picking up in a positive way for a short period, because Venus is there only for a month, Mercury is there only for 2-3 weeks in your relationship and fun houses, but still, it is a possibility. And Also, you can be more likable by your audience or by your clients. You can reach agreements with people easier after the 20th of December. You can reach more compromise, more mutual understanding. You can sign contract easier. You can collaborate with others easier, and others can be a source of pleasure, spending. And where do you feel happy? Kind of, where is your escape from the madness? It's in the seventh house. Spend time with a loved one, or communicate with someone on a topic that you find interesting. It's just this kind of one-to-one communication that nurtures your soul through Venus. And then is the eclipse. We talked about it on the 26th. So it can, maybe that's when the seeds of new opportunities through Jupiter being sown that we talked about. But again, there might be some crisis that first happens through the sixth house as well. So thank you so much. And do check the 2020 video horoscopes, 1 hour and a half long, $9.99, and the discounted 2020 calendar, 180 pages, and it's only $20 for 2 more weeks. Thank you.